Have you ever had the feeling that you're really, really great, that you are so great, and yet something isn't actually kind of coming online completely? I think a lot of people have this feeling of like, wait, but I'm magnificent. I was born to be so cool. And I know that I'm talented, or at least I knew that I was talented. And then a snowball of events happened and and I started thinking, maybe I'm not that talented, or maybe I'm not great, or like something in me still thinks so, but something else is thinking, oh, I don't know. And we can be at any point in that process from the wait a minute, I'm sure that I'm great and that I have talent and a destiny and a mission. I'm just kind of like, I can't kind of get my hands and feet, like I can't get my feet on the pedals and my hands on I'm not quite like would be anywhere in the continue from that all the way down to the successive levels of discouragement that take place when it seems as though life and life circumstances are just like house of cards folding on us, until we get to the point where we're like, yeah, I thought that when I was 5. I thought that when I was 3. It came back again for a little while when I was 13, and then it tanked again once I had Madame Spotheim for French. Just like done. What a shame. What a tragedy. What an incredible waste of human resources if we are from then on in a kind of inner fight between something we know that we knew when we were little about ourselves and about what our life was for, and that we maybe had a resurgence of in the midst of all kinds of people as a teenager, where most people were not supported into actually becoming empowered and taking themselves seriously, because it would have really seriously inconvenienced their parents' lives and probably overthrown all of society. So, all of that had to be discouraged early. We often are living in a struggle between that feeling in the mountain of discouragements that make it difficult to come out of what I call battles of refutation. I'm too, right? There are people who get an entire PhD just to disprove a voice that's telling them that they're stupid and that they can't do it. And like, that's not fulfillment of our mission. That's a state of refutation. But we can get caught in that. We can spend many years, and something productive might come out of it, but not with relaxation and not with satisfaction. What reconnecting with our resources is about is connecting with the resources to do the most satisfying thing that there is to, namely, be ourselves. Sow those seeds. Tend them, which will be work, and reap that harvest, eat that fruit, and share that fruit with the world. We have so much to give. Everybody has so much to give. But imagine a tree, a little fruit tree, that doesn't even know what kind of fruit tree it is. It just knows in there, it's like, I'm a fruit tree and I was made to be generous and to give my gifts to the world. And it just hasn't had enough water, and it hasn't had enough compost, and nobody's cleared the brambles away from it. And it doesn't even know if it's a cherry or a pear. Whole heart connection practices are practices that have to do with re-anchoring in something that at first may seem kind of unfamiliar, but then as we sit with it, we're like, oh yeah, there's something in me that was born for a reason that I might never know until it appears, like a cherry tree that does this. Like, it could take years before those cherries appear. Take years before there are pears. How do we come back to ourselves in some very simple ways? All of this is rooted in two primary traditions. The traditions that I'm really able to speak some after 30 years or so are Chinese medicine, East Asian medicine. There are a lot of practices that you don't need an acupuncture needle for that come out in terms of how we orient to being our body and how our spirit rests in our body between heaven and earth in connection with a larger field. Because Chinese medicine, East Asian medicine is nothing if not fully engaged. In the West, we often think of health as something that takes place in individual packets, like I am healthy. In East Asian medicine, it's a relationship between you and your life. It's not just rearrange the furniture inside of you. It's how do I be between heaven and earth, dancing with my life, in connection with all of life. And that's a very different orientation. It's not assertiveness training that we're going to be doing. It's going to be naturalness training. How do I be in the nature of myself in my context? It's also based in my years of working with Sufism, which has a lot to do with the nature of the soul incarnating. Again, not really knowing its purpose, but there's something called jazb, or attraction, which is the quality of destiny that unfolds when in each moment you follow the authentic tug from inside, the thing inside that says, that one, not that one. This is like it's thousands upon thousands of teeny weeny little decisions throughout the day that lead us to the place where we were destined through a kind of ongoing attraction, which means we need to be in touch with our petty, you could call it petty, our petty destiny decision maker. Do I want to spend the evening with this person or with that one? What does my heart say? What do my qualities in resonance say? And there are practices, East Asian medicine practices, Sufi practices that are so simple and very non-denominational because they're part of being back into our bodies, into our hearts, into our souls, into that place of recognition, subtle at first and eventually dead obvious. Yeah, this is for me. This is not for me. I'm walking step by step down the road to being myself and the satisfaction like no other that brings. So these are the resources that we're going to be looking at. Resources right in here that allow us to live our lives with a much deeper satisfaction. Hope you can come join us. I'd like that.